So this game, I'm white this game. Black is another grandmaster, Andre Stukopin. He goes to University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. And I played him once before at a tournament in Dallas, about 1 year ago, yeah. And I actually got destroyed. So, you know, revenge, right? So this is a pretty funny thing. It's like it's okay, but like it shouldn't be good. Just looking at it, I don't advise any of you to play this opening a lot because you probably won't learn very much about chess from playing it. Okay, so.
It's a bad opening for white, or bad opening for white.
No, it's not bad. It's just it doesn't have a lot of instructional value because it's really weird. Like, yeah. See, as you can see here, this is. I mean, my plan is literally h4, h5. So like, and bishop h6. So yeah, it's pretty bizarre. He played knight c6 here, and so that's a really curious idea. I think at some point he wants to try playing for e5, because the knight here is pretty bad. Like, it's kind of like my knight here, but, well, my knight's not really good either, so yeah. I mean, the idea, when he fianchettos, this knight is pretty much only good for just letting me castle long fast. So, bishop h6. And so this is a pretty common theme. His pawns are all in light squares, so if I try out the dark square bishops, his dark squares become weaker. And if he takes, then that gives my queen kind of a good position, right? So he opts to play rook e8. And not only does this keep in touch with his original e5 idea, but also if he gets a free move, he can play bishop h8. And that avoids the exchange. My bishop is looking pretty stupid here, right? So I take. And so I know that he's going to play this move. Pretty much no matter what. Like if I was to go here, then that's kind of a problem because now my light squares are really bad in the sunny. So I figure if he plays e5, the only problem with that is that it slightly weakens his d5 pawn because it would open up my pieces to attack, right? So I played this move. And so basically, if I ever need to, well, he played e5 in the game. But if I ever need to, at any point, I can play this move and take the pawn. Yeah. I think what I did here is better though. And so because of the pin on this pawn to his queen, he can't take.
Are you not making all these up?
Huh?
Are you sure you're not making all these up?
Do you want to check? So he chose to defend his pawn. And now I think I made a little bit of a less precise move. I took on d5 first, but I think playing g5 first is better. Because the thing with pawn takes is that this is not a bad move, but he just gets this extra option. And there's really no reason to calculate that extra option when if I played g5 first, this would probably result in the same position anyway. Right? So anyway, so I took, and he should definitely have taken with a knight, because otherwise I'm getting in g5 and I will probably win this pawn eventually. But so he took with the pawn. And so now what to do with white?
stage 4. Go with your plan.
G5. G5, yeah.
The thing with h4 is that I mean, I did think about it, but like,
So that it prevents the horse to be on the square.
like at the same time, like, am I really going to mate him? Like, you know. Because like, even if I do manage to take and play queen h6, it's still not mate, because he'll take with the f pawn. So, like, what do I really accomplish?
Just opening the H file.
Well, I mean, obviously I would like to, but it's a lot of time, and these pieces are pretty ugly, right? So, I figured that, okay, so I should just go here. And, so he goes here, which is the best square. Because, I mean, like, where else does he go, right? Okay, so knight h5. And I could take this pawn right away, but I think I have to have something better. So, what do you suggest?
Queen to d4.
Queen d4? Unfortunately, that hangs this pawn with check.
Alright, so maybe F4.
Yeah, I think f4 was what I played, and I think it's the best. So he retreated, and I played knight takes d5. Shoot. Thank you. So here, I have a pretty big threat here. Does anyone want to tell me what it is?
Queen to C3 check.
Yeah, so my idea is queen c3.
If the king goes, you can check with the knight and the queen.
So king f8, that's mate, yes. So, and then this, and I win his queen. So, right here, he's probably thinking to himself, oh no, that's a really big threat. I better not stop it. I'm gonna go here. So this is a really, really smart move. When he first played this, I couldn't believe that he did it. Because I was like, okay, isn't he just hanging his queen? But then I looked for a while, and he's actually the greatest player of all time. So, anyone want to tell me what's wrong with queen c3? Okay, so if queen c3, king g8, I would really, really love to go here. But the problem is that when I take I actually cannot take the knight here. Because and so initially, well, at first I was thinking, okay, what does that mean? I'll just play knight f3. But then this is good, because queen takes gets mated. So I was like, oh no, I can't do that. Well, that's too bad, right? Life's not fair at times.
Do you know what the other person's gonna do before they do the move?
Well, it depends on the position.
Like when you go into a game, I assume you only know what's gonna happen until when the person makes the move, or
Yeah,
or
but
do you study in a way that allows you to know what the person may do.
well, I don't know what he's gonna do. I'm not God, but it's like, it's sort of like you just like, after like each move, you just like look at from your opponent's point of view. Because if you calculate while only looking for yourself, that's gonna lead to a lot of missed resources, right? So yeah, bishop e6, that's a really smart move. So now he's threatening to take my knight, and after the queen trade, this pawn's gonna be hanging. And my pieces here are still trash. So the best move is probably this. But in any case, so I was thinking, right, these pieces are really bad. Let me not improve them. Okay, so now queen c3 is a threat, because in the end the d5 square will be covered by the c4 pawn. So he pretty much has to take. This is still kind of annoying for me though, because his knight's coming to a very nice place here, and my development's still bad. And even though I'm up a pawn, my king is still pretty insecure. And yeah, basically if he's like allowed to play these couple of moves, then I'm in big trouble. Also, he has an immediate threat that he's going to give this check, and after king moves, he can take this pawn. So, problem with king b1 is that it's just slow, and after a move like this, like he's threatening stuff like 93, and yeah, it's just unpleasant. So I have to be a bit quicker than that. So here I played bishop b5. So now the idea is that if he was to say move his rook, then I can defend this pawn pretty cleanly. And I'll pretty much be fine, because he doesn't have knight f5 93 anymore. But he played a better move than that. Okay, so what do you think he played?
Did he check you first?
How?
No, I sort of like queen c2, c7 first.
Yeah, so the problem with rook c8 is that, well, I'll just go to b1, and you still have to move your rook back. It's the same problem. So, yeah. But the reason queen c7 is better is because, not because it targets this pawn, because he's going to run into this, but because now his rook gets to go to a good place. Oh, shoot. Yeah, king b1, rook d8. So now he's attacking both of these pawns. I only have one move to defend it, right? Incidentally, it's also a fork, but it's more of like a ghost fork, because I can't take the knight at all. So queen c5. And so now I'm thinking, okay, so now I just need to, now if I can just get in the moves knight f3 and knight e5, I'll have a very good position, or knight e2. Just basically, if I get to develop my pieces, I'll be up a pawn, and well, I'll have a pawn on d6. Who doesn't want a pawn on d6, right? So, yeah. So, he obviously can't allow that. Plays knight f5. So my pawn's attacked. And so now we can see the reason why I chose this square for my bishop, instead of, like, for example, playing bishop e2 and maybe taking. Because now I get to play this move. And it looks very weak. But in fact, it's actually pretty hard for him to attack there, and he can't activate this queenside rook with rook c8 anymore, because obviously I'll take, right? So he's running a bit short on time here. So he must try this, right? To try to break off my bishop's connection, and he wants to win this pawn, but it's pretty hard because this knight is just really bad. It can't go anywhere, and well, it was attacking this pawn, but it didn't do a terrific job of it. So So in the game, he tried to complicate things a little more. And so he just wants to create a pawn storm on the queen side, basically. I do have a nice trick though. Like I could play a3 with this idea, and I'm pretty safe. But I actually had a nice tech that I liked. So I played knight f3. So now what if black plays a4? That's what he played in the game. He didn't have very much time, and I mean, it's his best chance, right? So, yeah, okay. So what do you think I played here?
Rook c1.
Bishop f7.
Bishop f7, I think you can just take, right?
Probably put it on bishop
Yeah, but then you
d5.
can check it.
Bishop d5 is a possibility, but then I think he plays this move, right? Or something like that. And I'm losing the pawn. But okay, so I had something I liked a lot better than that. So that's pretty nice. It's a cool double attack, and he has no time to take the bishop because his queen's hanging. And so the critical variation here really is takes and bishop takes, rook a7. But here, I think his problem with knight e5, and this is a double attack, threatening a double attack, and also threatening this pawn. So it wins pretty easily. So in the game, he played queen e7. And so what should white play here?
Bishop c2.
195. What about rook?
The problem 95 is that my bishop is still under attack.
Rook
H to E.
H to E.
Yeah, rook to hd1 is the best move. And so here, I think that the most important move to calculate when thinking about rook hg1 is definitely knight takes f4. Okay, so what do you think would be the best reply?
Rook takes queen. Check.
Mm-hmm.
And then check with the rook. Or bishop takes knight.
I think the
bishop takes knight and then check.
well,
No, that's right. That's hanging.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Rook takes knight. Okay, yeah.
The problem with rook f7 is that okay, so
And then you're going to take the rook at a8.
and
Don't you get the rook at a8 now?
well, I do, but I'm not of material.
It's dead even.
Well, I'm up a pawn for now, but it's still on d7. Anyways, there's a better continuation than that. So yeah, it's actually to it actually is to take on d5 first, but not because the rook takes f7 after. Because the point is that black can't recapture the bishop now because after pawn promotes, well, white's just going to be up a rook, right? I mean, another important thing to remember, like as you said, as you were pointing out before, you don't like when I played queen d5, I actually didn't have to calculate that all the way through because the position's just pretty, like in my mind, it's pretty clear that it's good for whites. Like I don't really need to calculate the specifics until like let I get there. Like if it's like a really complicated position, then yeah, you do. But like here, like I'm pretty clearly better. So yeah. Okay, so. So here, I think his best move is queen f8. But this is pretty terrible for black, right? Again, we can see that black's major pieces are definitely showing off their full power here. And the knight, neither knight can really move, because pretty much no matter where they go, this is going to be a pretty powerful fork, like knight e7, for example, or knight takes f4. And next move, I'll just take on f5, and this is just winning for white. So, in desperation, he tried this move. And so his big idea is that if I was to take the queen, I mean, like, this is going to be winning for white. This is going to be winning for white, but it's just more complicated, I guess. Like, when you're winning, you always want to keep it more simple, even though it might not be as interesting. But just in general, like, the simpler you keep the position, it's harder for him to be able to come back, because there's the chance of missing a stupid trick is a lot lower. So, this is here. Okay, so what to do here?
Check. Yeah.
Pick up the queen.
Thank you. And that's really unpleasant, because now the queen moves and uncovers an attack on the black queen. So he tries what, well, I mean, he keeps playing. He could probably have resigned there, but you know, whatever. However, it's still kind of interesting. Well, it's not like interesting, but like, it's still possible for me to blunder here. You know, it's pretty much always possible to blunder.
Yes.
Like yeah. I mean, but actually, it doesn't even do anything when I protects it. Okay, well, anyway, so I guess I just ignored my own advice that I gave like 20 seconds ago. So I went here, and so here his whole. I think he's just still playing, just because of the the pin. So went here. He took. Queen takes. Now he's still hoping and hoping and hoping that I'll lose the bishop somehow, which is still winning, but okay. And then, yeah, he resigned. I'm just up a lot of material, right? Yeah, this game is a lot less interesting, but it's just a fun thing to look at, I guess. All right. Well, I guess that's it, yeah?
Any questions for Josh, guys?